back to my channel, and if you are new, welcome. I'm your girl Jaleesa Chavez, and if you are watching, you are here today to see how I create my all matte everything makeup tutorial. So if you are interested on how I created this look, go ahead and keep on watching. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and that thumbs up button for more videos. Okay, so we're gonna jump right into moisturizer. I'm going to be going in with this Jergens Ultra Healing Moisturizer. It's gonna be a great balance with all of the powders that we'll be putting on today. I'm so excited to be filming again. I really have not had time, you guys. My birthday was last week, so I was turning up all week with my girls. And don't forget your neck. Your neck needs to be moisturized as well. Now moving right along to primer. I'm going to go with this Lancome La Base Pro primer. This is a perfecting makeup primer, smoothing effect, and oil free. You only need about 2 pumps of this primer, and it is seriously such a good primer. Like, come on, it's Lancome. You know it's a little pricey. It is definitely worth it because it gives you such a nice photo finish to your makeup and makes you look flawless. And now I'm going to do my brows with the Morphe Brow Pencil. And now I'm cleaning under the brow with the Maybelline Age Rewind Concealer. It cancels out any discoloration around the brows. To set the lid for eyeshadow, I'm going to go in with the P. Louise base in the number 2. I knew eventually when I got it I was going to fall in love with it. I just never wanted to take the time to order it online because I'm not really an online shopper. But Morphe in Burbank has it now, so I was like, okay, this is my opportunity. I'm going to blend this out with the BH Cosmetics blending brush in the number 141. I'll be using my favorite Morphe palette today, the Hey Girl Hey palette. And I'm going to go with my Morphe R40 brush and start blending in my first transition. I'm going to take that first transition color across the full crease. Already after I applied the first transition shade, you can go back in with the same brush and go with your darker transition. And I'm really starting off with the lightest color and then just building it until I get my desired crease. But on the second transition is when we'll start focusing the shadow on the outer corner of the eye. So I'm going up with the same brush and just a darker shadow from this palette. And I'm focusing it right on the outer portion of the eye. Alright, after the second transition color, I'm going to go in with a more dense brush so that I can start packing on a darker color. And I'm going to pack this on right here on the outer corner of the eye. Even though you want to keep that pigment, you still don't want it to look too harsh. So you do want to blend out the edges of that darker shadow. The last color that I'll be applying on top of that is this dark plum shade. And I'm only going to be focusing this like literally on the outer portion. And I'm using my MAC 219 blending brush to do this. I'm going to blend out the edges with the first transition brush, not the darker one. You don't want to go in with the dark one because you want it to have a gradient effect. Okay, so now I'm going to go back into the inner corner of the eye where I really haven't applied any product. And I'm going to put a little bit more of the P. Louise base. I'm going to go with my BH Cosmetics number 130 brush. And I'm going to go with this bone color. It's like a bone with a little undertone of peach in it from the Hey Girl Hey palette. And I'm going to push this right on top of the P. Louise base. If you see any harshness, you guys, make sure you go in and blend it and thank yourself later. So liner is drying. I'm going to pop on my lashes from my lash line. So I'm going to pop these on really fast and then I'll be right back to finish the look. Alrighty, so the eyes are done. We are going to move on to the face now, honey. Ooh. We are going to color correct with the same Maybelline concealer. And you want to color correct anywhere there's hyperpigmentation or darkness to even out the skin tone. Guys, the holidays are coming up and I'm super excited to go home. I haven't been home in a year. It'll be a year on Christmas, but it's still been a year since I've been home. And like this year, I'm super excited because I've never waited this long. Excuse me. For foundation, I'll be using my Marc Jacobs Shameless Foundation in Tan Y470. To apply this, I'm going to go in with my Beauty Blender. I just love how this foundation lays on the skin. Makes your skin look like velvet. So color correcting is really important if you want to use like just a little bit of foundation. And to highlight, I'm going to go in with my Morphe concealer in C355. So I'm going to keep my highlight really close to the nose without dragging it out, because we have to blend it anyways. It's going to work its way out there. And then I'm going to take a strip down the nose. I'm going to let that sit for about 30 seconds. If you don't have time to wait that long, just give it a little, you know, air fan to dry down the product a little bit. Then you're going to go in with your Beauty Blender. You're going to look up into the mirror. You're going to blend that concealer with very little pressure. As you can see, I'm carrying most of the pigment like here, and I want a little bit more under there. So that's when you go in and add more if you need it. She is looking flawless, honey. Look at that skin. Yes. Alrighty, and to really brighten the under eye, it is already bright, but I want a little bit brighter. Just turn it up a notch. I'm going to go in with the Kylie Cosmetics concealer. I have the shade Peanut, and I'm just going to do literally like 2 strokes of this concealer. I'll be using the Morphe concealer in C535. This is my contour shade. And I like to go ahead and contour while that Kylie Cosmetics concealer sits for a little bit. I'm going to go back and blend out that Kylie concealer. You don't want to let that sit while you contour. Like, you just want to apply the contour, and then that should be enough time to blend it out. And now that under eye is really bright, and it's going to go so well with the under eye powder we're using. But we're going to go ahead and contour. I'm using my BH Cosmetics number 114 brush to blend this out. Alright, after you blend the contour up, you're going to go back in with your Beauty Blender, the foundation side. And you're just going to blend out the edges. And this will give it that nice balance. Instead of going in with the side that you highlighted with, this is going to give it a really nice clean balance. Look at that. Compared to this side. And I'm making sure I keep that line really straight. And then I go back in with my Beauty Blender, give it a nice little pinch, and I blend those sides together. Alrighty, now time for powder. Yay! For baking, I'm going to go in with this Maybelline Fit Me Loose powder, and I have the number 25 medium. I'm going to make sure I give my skin one more nice blend, especially under the eye. You don't want any creasing. Alright, now I'm going in with the powder with my damp Beauty Blender. I'm going to look up and start pressing that powder right under the eye first. You want to set that part like right away. It's going to be the part that creases like really fast, so you want to set that part right away. And I just go in with a little powder first, you guys. Like I said, I like to use minimal product now. I don't like to feel heavy like I have on a lot of makeup. So I go in with one dab into the powder, and once I start pushing the powder in, I literally focus on that spot for about 10 seconds until it's all pressed in and set the product really good. It can get really tricky really fast, because if you just push the product on and then move somewhere else, like, you're not really setting the product, and it's gonna cake up It's not going to absorb that powder because it's going to be patchy. So you really want to go in and get a nice even base. My under eye looks super smooth because I actually set it without baking first. I just set the product first. I'm going to take some down the bridge of my nose, keeping that line straight. Sharpen my contour up. Same way here. I'm applying the powder and then I'm pushing the powder in. You want to utilize all the powder that you're using. You're using the powder to make sure you stay matte and to make sure you don't get oily. Now, after you set it, which is what I just did, you can now go in and bake if you like to, which is just like put an extra layer of powder on there. I personally don't like to do that because it does make me feel like I have a lot of product on. Powder creates wrinkles and wrinkles create creases and stuff. So it's best to set it like this instead of baking, because the baking really doesn't do anything if you're just going to brush the powder away. That's just my personal preference though. You can definitely go in and just put more powder on if you want to. Instead of baking, I actually like to go in with the pressed powder. I'm sure you've seen, you know, like some of your favorite makeup artists do this where they'll go in with like the MAC mineralized powder and kind of just like do an extra set. That's what I like to do instead of baking. I feel like this just brings color back into the skin. It also gives me that extra layer of protection without letting a bunch of powder sit on my face. So I go in with the Sephora Micro Smooth Powder. This is the number 56 Deep. I go with a flat kabuki brush and I push that into the powder. And then I just take this powder all over the face. Going in and buffing. This is why it's good to use a kabuki flat brush, because you can just push that product in. Like a pressed powder on top of a loose powder really looks good if you're using a powder close to your skin tone. For blush, I'm going to go with this Anastasia Beverly Hills Blush Kit. This is the Gradient Kit. So these colors are for every skin tone. So pigmented, so pretty. I had to get this palette when I seen it. I was like, oh my gosh. I'm actually going to mix chocolate and blackberry together. Ooh, y'all, this is so pretty. Oh my gosh, it's so gorgeous. I'm using chocolate to kind of just brush it all along the areas that I contoured. And a little along the jawline. And I'm making sure everything is really blown out. There's no harshness. Like, you want to make sure everything looks really blended. And at this point, I usually would highlight, but I'm not going to highlight today. I feel like I should add a little bit of highlighter somewhere, but no. I really want this look to just be matte. And it's crazy at the temptation I have right now to just add a little bit of highlighter. Like, can't be breaking the rules, okay? I'm going with the black auto liner and I'm applying this on my bottom waterline. If you're going to be smoking out your bottom lash line, I feel like it's really important to put some type of cream eyeliner or like a base or anything down there that's going to hold on to the shadow. If not, it's going to kind of disappear throughout the day or fade, and it needs something to cling on to. Like your liquid foundation, you set it with powder. That's how your under eye should be. You want to line it with some type of cream or gel so that your powder looks really pigmented and it stays on all day long. All right, now I'm going to set that with the red brick color out of my Morphe Hey Girl Hey palette that I used as my second transition shade on my lid. And I'm going in with the Precise blending brush to blend this in. And I'm going to apply that bone shade that I used on the inner part of my eye, and I'm just going to pop some on right here in the tear duct. Alrighty, to finish off this look, I'm going to go in with my Matte Addiction Collab Liquid Lipstick, and this is in the color Charmed. First, I'm going to line my lips with the Clean Colors Lip Liner in Cafe. I know this is in Toffee, whatever. Oh y'all, I forgot to blend out my lip contour. Don't forget to blend out your lip contour, guys. Don't. So I don't think I want to go this bold, even though this is literally one of my favorite lipsticks by Collab. But I want to mix it with another Collab lipstick in the color Non-Stop. So I'm just going to apply that in the center and just kind of give them a blot blend. So it's still very bold. It just kind of mutes out the orange a little bit. Gives me that nice ombre effect, you know? So I'm going to go in with the Continuous Setting Mist by Morphe. Love, love, love the setting spray for a dewy finish. And then I'm just gonna give it a nice fan. Alrighty, you guys, I'm gonna let my face finish drying, and I'm also going to go fix my hair, take off this Cheetah Girl headband, and I'm gonna get cute.